that I thought would be fun to add into everything that I've been doing here and might be of some interest to you. Otherwise, I kind of wanted to just document some things that I found recently around the house and might be a little bit of a show and tell. And you might find it interesting or not, but either way, I was just wanting to bring in some things that I thought would add even more depth to the readings that I've done and things that talked about the themes and all of that. So the, I guess, inspiration behind this video is just that quote from Picasso that said that it took him a lifetime to learn how to draw like a child and like 4 years to draw like Rembrandt or something. So I thought, why not go through my old childhood drawings and which I just recently found and see if I can find anything that might be fun to, if I don't ever have them with me, to be able to reference back to, because I think that you know, when you're drawing as a kid, you're just free to express however you see fit, and I think it's kind of a really great place to start sometimes with that just freedom of expression, and found a lot of just funny drawings and color print things that might inspire you to find your own childhood type drawings, and as a point of inspiration or something like that. And some interesting things too that I just found around the house recently, and I thought others might find it interesting. So maybe at the end I'll pull a few cards and see, just to sum all this up. So first, before I dive in, I just found these like antiques. I think I've mentioned before, I have like all these ancient Mesopotamian, Turkish antiques that have been found on digs and things like that, and I don't know what most of them are, but interesting maybe as inspiration for some of you out there that are looking for a different sort of starting point. I don't really even know what this is. I think it's like some sort of bag thing, or it looks like it has a hinge here, so you should be able to open it, but I don't know. Some sort of, kind of looks like a robot or something, but some sort of little mini clutch bag thing I wish it opened, but I just thought it was cool. And you can kind of see all the different prints and things like that. And this is a huge thing. You get used to just seeing these things around the house and you forget that they're kind of cool, and some people might find them inspiring again for like print, because all this iron, like this huge like picture thing. I think it's from like 580 or something. I'm not sure, it's so old. And it's just all these like really cool Turkish like teapots and things that sit around the house, and it's really beautiful. Maybe you can see like some of the engraving, and so intricate, and yeah, so I thought that'd be fun to show. And then I thought, okay, so I'd start with this. It's a story that I guess I wrote, but it's kind of funny because it really does go along with all these things that we've talked about. And it's from, I don't know what year, but I think it was transcribed by someone, and it's from October 29th, no less. And it's just a page, but it's kind of interesting. I think it was a play. So anyways, it goes. It was Halloween night. Everybody was happy. A little girl that didn't have any parents was very sad because she didn't have a costume. She went home and she found a lion lying in her room. She ran downstairs. She ran out the door. A person said, "What's the matter, little girl?" She could hardly talk. She was crying so hard. She said to the person, "Well, I don't have a costume and there's a lion in my room." Problems. and asked, "What's your name?" And the person said, "My name is Sarah." Sarah said, "What's your name?" And the little girl said, "My name is Gazelle." So like a lion and gazelle. They went home together. They found a little bird sitting on the window. The little girl said, "How are you, little bird?" The little bird said, "I'm fine." They went upstairs and Sarah fighted the lion, and it was dead. Then they went downstairs and they made a jack-o'-lantern. Then they made some candy, and then they went trick-or-treating. That's the end. And I think it was some sort of play because it has like names, little bird, Sheila, Sarah, Jana, lion, Max. I don't know who any of these people are. Of course, I played the gazelle fighting the lion. It kind of reminded me of like, just a lot of the things that we've talked about, and also Coco Chanel, since she was an orphan. And I don't know, even if you have parents, you don't always think that, I don't know why I wrote this, so, but it might be an indication of like, I think I was a lot more perceptible and perceptive when I was younger, and especially with like being able to sort of interact maybe with the other side, or whatever you want to call it. And that's kind of, I feel like I've been sort of trained by some of these, just in some of the styles that I used to draw in. It's kind of funny. You can find just different parallels between different drawing styles. So, and like I said, I've always felt very like watched over. I think even though I've had a lot of bad luck, I think things could have been a lot worse. And so I'm grateful for the, all the fluke solutions that also came with the fluke problems. And I feel very like protected always. So this kind of, the crown at least, reminded me of Basquiat. And he did die in 88, and that's the year that's been coming up so much. Some little, Anyways, some different styles here, and that'd be fun to talk about or show. Some maybe more than others, but I'm just gonna go through them all. I don't know, but this is some sort of, it's very like a fashion illustration. Back, there's someone getting married, I think. I don't know. Got some abstract things going on here. The third eye or something. This again reminds me of like Side Wally. I was drawing some Indians, I think. Some bows and arrows, and I don't know what this says, but I think it's like phonetically it says like Norway. Norway. Yeah. I've shown this before, but this definitely reminds me of Basquiat. And all of these drawings I find have these like rainbow things over the head. I don't know what's up with that. And she's like little spikes coming out of her head. That was like my signature style. Kind of famous in my nursery school. These like weird beings that show up on all these drawings. And it was like my first fashion collaboration with my school. These were put on like t-shirts. But this, I've said before, if you didn't watch the video, it's kind of funny because it goes with my fifth house. Even starting with Venus in Scorpio here with the little fish. All within the same house though, fifth house, and Saturn, which looks just mean. And my sun sign back here is just like, hey. And Mercury looks very worried, like how you talk, very worried. And then Uranus over here, and Neptune, Capricorn over there. Just weird. Yeah. So, let's see what else. Yeah, again, all these like weird, like rainbows. And It's probably, I don't know. This is me and my mom at the beach, and I guess we went home because there are too many bugs. I just like some of these colors too, and just like I mean, you might find this silly, but yeah, just a lot of, I like these colors together. This confetti, which has been in like a theme in all the videos. Just fun how, you know, you always look at these things and you're like, what was going through your head at that time, you know? These weird creatures. It's hunting in the forest and very scared of bears, lions, and tigers. Came to save their mom and dad at the end. I think it's interesting though, like even in most of these, like I can't spell, really, I can give like a few little words, but I'm recognizing prints and colors and a pattern. Yeah. Again, more of these like weird sort of, you can see. Mirror writing going on. But I like them. They're kind of weird. They kind of, I don't know what they remind me of, but I talked about a raccoon recently on one of those videos. This is a raccoon went to a hole, came home by himself, and go to the store by himself. A raccoon sometimes gets lost in the woods. Sometimes he does not get lost in the woods. I think this is a raccoon. It's supposed to be, yeah. I guess that's how I drew people. And this is Caitlin's bird. I like little minimalist kind of things like that. I'm going to frame some of these, and some of these are more probably interesting than others, but yeah. Here are these creatures again. And again, I'm just like, wonder what was I drawing? Like, they look like little alien beings. I like line drawings too. This is also just sort of fun. It's like, what were you, like what were you thinking about? And it's like, can you get in that same headspace in a way? Like, why were you interpreting things in that way? Who knows? It's more rainbow heads. These colors, fun. For some reason, it reminds me of like some sort of mood ring or something. Also, just like the technique and patterns and things like that. Technique, I mean, but you know what I mean. Kind of fun. I feel like I've seen this dress on the runway recently, something like that. And I think I have this on my Instagram, but I was looking at some of us. Oh my god, I just hung that. Obviously not very well. I was looking at a painting of Basquiat's and had this like window in the background, same sort of thing. I don't know what these things are that she's holding. I think they're like candy or markers or something. But am the best. 1992, Rapunzel. A ton of these like Rapunzel and Little Mermaid princess drawings, which I guess is not that atypical, but it's kind of funny how things like imprint on you and somehow they come up in different ways in whatever it is you're working on. This girl looks like she has attitude. Work and like a little farmer guy here. It's funny because when I was, you have to interview at lab school to get in as nursery schooler. Interview, yeah, you have to observe you, and they're like, well, for half the time she was very social and like directing plays and the other kids around. The other time, then at some point, I just got very like, okay, I'm done, and like when drew in the corner by myself, and they're like, we're not sure about her. But at the end of the day, I got in. I've done this before. It's more Rapunzel. Ultraviolet. It's a new color, so Pantone color. This isn't that interesting with flowers, but I like kind of like far away. It kind of looks very. I don't know if you can see it here, just like the dry marker. Anyways, I think that would make a cool print. Some sort of weird bird, antelope, horse thing. I'm trying to get the light here. Whoa. And like basket weave bag. I'm trying to say something here too. A bunch of numbers on the back. I wonder what some sort of sequence. A bunny. This reminded me of the Hangman for some reason. Just the way that she's on the playground. Caitlin sang. It's like when you're just creating, I think, what stage is that in the alchemical cycle? You're just creating, I think it's the third stage, like arts and crafts, and without like hierarchy or reason, all these like reasons why we do things getting in the way. So trying to like tap back into that sort of mentality. Butterflies. Fairies and angels. Yeah, Little Mermaid. This reminds me of one of the oracle cards in the Oracle Visions in that bubble. It's like a mermaid in a glass bubble oracle card. A little goldfish. This reminded me of the star card for something, but all different stars and the unicorn. I was a big fan of My Little Pony. Yeah, everyone was. It just reminds me sometimes of all these like little scribble drawings of, you know, things you find on, I don't know, postcards and things like that at like Colette or something. It's a giraffe. Guess I was doing repeats. And another unicorn. I like this one. Multicolored hair. And this is funny because it looks like Marie Antoinette. Down to the hair, and she even has, there's a bird cage, and she's playing a lute. And that came up a few times, and also like the Sanssouci Palace. About the, if you look at the supplementary videos, and also with the Art of Live Tarot Jester with a lute. Trying, you know. I don't really know what else is going on there, but a spider web. But again, I like these colors together. The green and the purple and the black and the red. Is she tied up? Yeah, it looks like she's tied. It reminds me of like this Eight of Swords. Why would she? Maybe she's stuck in the spider web. Yeah, she has like a rope around her. That's kind of weird. It reminds me of the Eight of Swords. Weird. And fire and water. Purple too. Purple crown. Queen of Wands, maybe. This, I think I'm trying to say, is look into your heart. And like scribble print. I like it. I could see it on like a bag or something. Some sort of like, yeah, summer dress. I think I posted this before, but it also reminds me of the Coldplay video in the first, the Fire playlist. So always interested in space. I think this is from like 1992, 1995. And on the back there's a dragon. Or a dinosaur or something. Again, I like these colors. I don't know what I'm doing, but it looks kind of fun. Like the random like squiggles and things like that, reminds me of like Celine. Actually, kind of like this. I don't know, it's weird, but splatter. Splatter painting. Sometimes just like throwing things down on canvas is fun, you know? Connecting the dots. My favorite, like little Halloween. Ooh. I think this is for Hanukkah, 12/9. Yes, maybe because there's a menorah. I had a bunch of, a lot of my friends were Jewish growing up, and so I love to like, they'd always invite me and celebrate one of their Hanukkah nights with them, I think. I don't know what this is though, what she's, you know, going on there, but what I was trying to spell. Delightful love. Yeah, interesting. This is also, I don't have the deck, but it's one of the tarot card readers that I was watching the deck that she has. So I think it's Lenormand Oracle deck maybe, and there is a card just like this. It has it's an elephant with a girl on it on the top. Probably some sort of circus thing. Here, like lace up ballet. I think she's ballerina. Yeah, it's like not a bad elephant for like, obviously like a 4-year-old. All these like patchworky colors. And yeah, I kind of liked that idea of like just blue pen, you know, nothing fancy, but as like a print or something like that. It's obviously rain. There's an umbrella. It looks like, their dress looks like, I think, rulers or something, but I don't think that's what I was going for. I don't know. Happy New Year! I'm going through all the holidays. Ballerina. I think everyone had one of those like music boxes that just opened, and I think that's probably what I was trying to draw. I don't know. Yeah, any designer can like that and like say, oh, I'll just do a dress that has that sort of like half open. I don't know. This is cool. I don't know how I made this, but it's like some sort of paper, like, yeah, double, and like inside there's all this like paint. Which I kind of like. I think that's really like, that'd be a really cool jumping off point for something. Let's see. These things are, they're like, yeah, it's like I painted on the inside of one and then put it over and made it sort of like, I don't know, I like it. I don't know what you do, some sort of like outer layer or something. I don't know. Another mermaid, and I like these colors. It says Caitlin, and 4 years, 7 months. It's 4 years old. Grandma Robinson. I don't have a Grandma Robinson. I don't know what that is or who that could be. Maybe it was like a nanny or something. I don't know. I don't really have it. American flag. There we go. Again, more of this like just as I was in my minimalist phase. Dots. Stars. Curly cues. Hearts. Suns. And a flower. These are, again, these weird creatures, and I kind of love these. They look so worried. Make a frame these. Yeah, another one of those weird creatures with a big head. Elongated skull. But again, I like these scribbles. I would put that onto like a I don't know, I see like some sort of like Oscar de la Renta or something, Carolina Herrera, some sort of like very minimalist line print scribble on a white sort of, yeah, dress. Fun. More stars. These like color blocking things. It reminds me of like a sweater. Pumpkins. Bow tie. Back of doc films. You know, University of Chicago. All fall people. Looks like a sun sign, sun glyph. Falling. I think it was some sign I made or something. I don't know. Here's your Christmas tree. Merry Christmas. I mean, you can just look on like Art Basel or like wherever and see things that you're like, yeah, I was doing that when I was 5. And there's no that like, well, they did it, but you know, when people say, oh, I could do that, and the retort is that, well, you did. I'm like, well, yeah, actually I did when I was 4. Here, very harsh weather conditions, rainy day. Actually, I don't think I brought it up with me, but there was another like landscape that had, it was the same colors as the landscape painting that I put on Instagram like last year or something, and I've mentioned in that same like orange sky and sort of blue-gray waters and sharks. There you go. I think I only knew how to write my name pretty much, so that's why my name's on everything. I like this. I don't know. The tree and the sun back there. I don't know what that is that I'm going for, but I like it. It's like fun. Like a fun confetti light or something. This is scary. There's like a dinosaur, and I like this feather thing. It's coming off of this mermaid. I don't know if I can even show you this. It's so big. This is the scuba. I mentioned scuba there. Da Vinci scuba bear. Oh my gosh, you can't. And there's some fish over here. More fish. I don't know, I like these colors. Might have to edit that out because it's very awkward. Just like that. Oh, okay. This reminded me again of like a scene for some reason. Just these very like more rainbow. Maybe that's hair that I'm trying to go for. I'm not sure. Yeah. I mean, not like in a very literal way, but just for maybe the colors or like this paint lines or something. Sunglasses. I don't know. A rainbow, a tree, and 2 flowers, and a mermaid. But I like these colors too together. dancer. Athleisure. Okay, so let me pull some cards that maybe we'll start with a rune card. And consider this like an encore. I don't know if I'm going to, keep trying to finish up here, and then I don't know, I actually do kind of like doing these videos, but they take up a lot of energy, so are there things I need to get to? But when I can, I'll maybe do some readings when I want to show something or feel like it, I guess. Yeah. Let's see. For general, or to sum up these readings, what people maybe want to know, or anything specific. Highest and greatest good. The self, I think that came up for the last one. It's also want to come out. Separation. So the fourth, I have some sort of itch here. The fourth stage of the alchemical cycle. 2. Or maybe it's the third one. I always mix them all up. But I put that up on the classic playlist, and you can just follow the link to, I highlighted a bunch of words, keywords that, keywords that I think stand out to me, and that I've seen over and over again, and translated some. Maybe we'll go into it another time, but I'm also not just like passing these things along. Like, I actually took years of time to track these things to see if it actually, these cycles were working out, that this is a real actual thing. And I mean, you have to apply it to the context that, you're working in. But you can check that out. And separation, though, is one of the stages. And this is one of those. It has something to do with inheritance, because it looks like a little diamond ring or something. And like snake. I mean, some of the print reminds me of that. These like snake patchwork. Self, stars, and planet pulse. And also, so this is Manaz, I think. But yeah, the sun there. So it talks about the self and the ego and things like that, and just half of this means joy, funny enough. So it's coming together, two sides of your mind, left and right. So maybe there's like a separation and a coming together, so that you can best identify with characteristics and traits of each side of your mind, of your brain, and what each brings to the table. And the what is it? Never mind, I can't remember the name. It connects both, and we inherit the self. That's one of the meanings of this probably together. That we inherit the self. And I have mentioned that, time's irrelevant. I don't think that time exists in the same way that we have to categorize time and things like that. And it's highly possible that we're all just here existing at the same time over and over again. Oh, look, there's the spider web. Straight. 7. 1, 4, 7. I'll put links for those. Let's pull from the Art of Life. High Priestess. At the center of your being, you have the answer. You know who you are. You know what you want. Lao Tzu and Gothic Window by Odilon Redden, 1900, Indianapolis Museum of Art. these flowers coming alive. I feel like it's her imagination. The essence of creativity, of bringing about what's in your imagination, bringing it to life, letting it blossom, having to find visuals and metaphors, things that exemplify what you have going on in your imagination. A paint palette. High Priestess, those secrets revealed. It's also number 2. Magdalena, Mary, all these themes of coming full circle, being able to talk to the other side, the High Priestess, and being trained by the other side, looked after, because there's a million amazing artists, as you know, but I always felt like it was great to learn from the masters, some sort of, let's see what else comes through. 9 of Cups. A happy life is one in accordance with its own nature. Marcus Seneca. Riding on the Strand by Frank P. Stonelake. Sporting Gallery, London, UK. Nine of Cups. 29. Coco Chanel's wasn't her, it's in the supplementary videos on street numbers 29 and also 11. 9, the end of his cycle. Let's see what else. 9 of Cups is like some sort of genie, djinn. Satisfaction. Significance or context of these cards. How do they apply? Maybe it's like, what do you want to know? Making a wish. Genie in a bottle. Genie in a bottle. Like the little picture thing I showed earlier. 4 of Cups. When the music changes, so should the dance. African proverb. A Dance in the Country by Pierre Auguste Renoir. 1883 by the Musée d'Orsay, Paris, France. It reminds me of like a Mary Poppins, that scene where they're dancing in the square and there's some sort of, just looks fun. Joyful. 4 of Cups, though, usually is like noticing a sign or noticing something, like take a step back, or sometimes I think of it as like genie in a bottle sort of thing, because his arms are crossed and he's like looking at the 3 cups and one's being offered to him. That's kind of almost like something being whispered in your ear, and 3 wishes. So anything having to do with 4 letters, cups, emotions. 9 of Cups, 4 cups, 13. Hearing the music, and some sort of emotional stability too. I don't know. Wishing for information, wishing for High Priestess. It's like have to come to 2 for 24. Secrets revealed. crystals.